Charles Edwards, and I'm the host of Seniors Matter. We're live most Fridays at 12:30 p.m. on www.rainieravenueradio.world, your South Seattle community radio station. You can also listen to us on YouTube, www.rainieravenueradio.world, and of course on the Rainier Avenue Radio App. We feature interviews with people that provide services or have valuable information for seniors, their families, and of course, the community. Do you need financial documents notarized? Are you a person that needs documents read to you for clarity or completion? Call me at Black Orchid Notary 206-683-2636. Tell me where, I'll meet you there. Don't forget to mark your calendars for May 18th. The Sawabona Festival at Bellevue College from 12 to 4 p.m. Come early, stay late. Well, my guest today is James Donaldson. He is the Executive Director of Your Gift of Life Foundation. Welcome to the show, James. How are you? I don't hear you.
Okay, I can't hear you. I think you're muted. Is your volume up?
I'm up and loud.
Hang on. Okay, how's that?
I hear you.
Okay, I can hear you now. Okay, there we go.
So I was saying, welcome to the show, James. How are you doing?
Thank you. Just doing great. Having a wonderful day today.
I know the sun is out and it's great. Although I hear Mother's Day may have a little rain, but you know what? I call that liquid sunshine. So that's all good.
Still a beautiful day. That's right. That's right.
Absolutely.
Oh, good. Good to join you guys today.
Thank you. It's so hard to believe that it's May already.
It's gone by really fast.
Yes. And this is a special May, as most people know. It's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Mm-hmm.
James, what does this month mean to you?
Well, it's really an opportunity for us to bring a lot of awareness about mental health challenges, and a whole array of different mental health issues that come with that to light, and to talk about it, and to bring it out from the shadows and have people have the conversation, and just, be more comfortable with having that kind of conversation. So that's what this month means to me. We also have another big month in September, which is National Suicide Prevention Month.
Yeah.
So we got 2 big months of where we really focus on mental health. But truthfully, I wish we did it every single day of the year.
Well, we need to, because it's definitely an important and a big issue.
Yeah.
So now, James, I have a video that you made. Do you mind if I share it?
Sure. Go ahead. No problem. Yes. Now, is my volume okay?
Never knew I had a heart defect until I met friends for a round of golf and woke up in the ICU at Providence, Swedish. Open heart surgery takes its toll physically, but it was the emotional part that blindsided me. My doctors and nurses not only saved my life, they stayed by my side. My care team helped keep me in a winning mindset. Now helping others through challenging times is my purpose in life.
Amen.
So that leads into my next question.
Yeah.
Please tell my audience how and why you started Your Gift of Life Foundation.
Well, as that commercial, which is running currently all over the Puget Sound, as that commercial states, back in 2015, I out of nowhere had a heart issue come up of a aortic dissection, which is a very, very serious heart complication. And if you don't fix it right away, eventually it's going to rupture. And when it ruptures, you're pretty much, you exit this world. So I was very close to that point. They discovered it when I just wasn't feeling really good one day, trying to play around the golf with my friends. And before we even teed off in the first hole, I was just, sweating profusely and out of breath and nausea, and just told my guys, I said, hey, I need to go see my doctor. Something's not quite right today. So I made my way to the doctor's office. And
you drove yourself?
I drove myself. I don't remember it, but I did. I mean, my friends told me I did. I mean, I must have. I don't remember the drive. It was only about 15 minutes, so I don't remember the drive over there. But I do remember getting to the doctor's office and seeing the reception counter, and then everything went black at that point. They tell me I just fell out right there. And luckily, in the doctor's office, emergency room right below, right downstairs, they called the paramedics up, did a quick diagnostic scan on me, determined it was my heart, threw me into the ambulance, and away to Swedish Hospital, Cherry Hill we went, and right into surgery, 12 and a half hours open heart surgery.
Wow.
And put me in a medically induced coma for 2 weeks. And I woke up 2 weeks later, not knowing what in the world happened, and couldn't believe it. But it really turned my whole life upside down. You know, I was in the middle of running my business. I had a house, I had life savings, I had a wife, I had a stepson. I had everything going on, and all of that went by the wayside over those next 3 or 4 years. I had 4 major surgeries, 2 for my aorta, one for the ascending aorta, one for the descending aorta, 2015, 2016, another for a arterial bypass up here in my neck in 2018, and another one for my right lung, which was partially paralyzed during those very invasive surgeries in 2020. So 4 major surgeries in 5 years. And I just wasn't able to stay on track, under medications for pain, not being able to move, having to rest and take my time and so eventually my business slipped away from me. I wasn't able to focus on my business, the Donaldson Clinic, which we had for 28 years. And I spent all of my life savings throwing it into the business, trying to save it. I had about 30 employees at the time, and I really felt I owed it to them to just kind of hang in there as long as we possibly could. Kept thinking that, better days were right around the corner, but better days never came in that regard. So I've ended up losing the business, losing my life savings, losing my home, which I had for 40 years, to foreclosure, going through a bankruptcy, losing my wife, who eventually moved on and walked out on the marriage. And everything that could go wrong went wrong. And it's just one of those things that, all of them beyond my control. Some things go wrong in people's lives because they are involved with drugs or alcohol or
making bad decisions.
Yes, crazy behaviors. And that will cause your life to go wrong as well. That wasn't my case, but a series of life events, one after another, really drove me into the depths of depression and anxiety and suicidal ideations in 2018. And I was diagnosed with all those things then and started trying to get through it and get some treatment, get some counseling, some prescription medication, and bringing a close-knit group of friends around me, 4 or 5 people I had known for 40 years or so, and they were there throughout. And that's really what got me through all of that. And of course, the good Lord himself, and I tell people, I say, well, God didn't put me through this. He allowed me to go through it. And he helped me get through it. And he was waiting for me at the end with a new plan of action for the rest of my life.
Absolutely. And as I sit here listening to you, James, and I remember when I went to visit you in the hospital, I had no idea that you were going through all of this.
Yeah. No.
And I say that you are living proof that God's not done with you yet.
Yeah.
And,
that's right. That's right.
You are an example of how going through so many traumatic things at one time.
Yes.
And that God brought you to the other side.
He did. He was right there with me, even in my loneliest, darkest times where I felt totally alone. I sensed that God was there. I knew he was there. And it was a matter of, him hanging on to me and steadying me, not me trying to hang on to him, because I surely would have let go at some point. So I'm going to close this curtain behind me. I feel like this light is pretty bright and making me look white as a goat. One second.
Okay.
1 second. Let me just close that behind me. Okay. Hopefully that's a little better.
Yes, that is much better.
Okay, good, good.
So I would just like to thank you for the daily messages that you've been sending me.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a couple of them I would like to talk about and share with our audience.
Yeah.
And the first one is, what is the history and origin of Mental Health Awareness Month?
Yes, yes. Well, I want to say it started back in the 60s, I believe, a good 60 years ago. It might have been an action by one of our presidents at the time who decided to bring some awareness to what mental health was all about. And so it became a national declared holiday or a nationally declared month of recognition, celebration for mental health, which was a good thing. But still, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, people still didn't talk about mental health.
Right.
And as you saw, even when you came to visit me in the hospital, you can't see people are going through mental health challenges from the outside. You just can't. People, we're all taught to just cover up and act like everything's okay.
Absolutely.
And mental health is no exception. So unless somebody reaches out and tells you what they're going through, you really have no idea. And I had no idea what it was all about until I actually went through it myself. And that's when God told me, I said, okay, James, now you have some experience, a real life experience of what that's all about. I want you to get out there and, be an advocate and be a voice and help others in that same regard.
Absolutely. So, and the other one, I have about 4 of them. The other one is the Caregivers Balancing Act.
Mm-hmm.
People don't understand what caregivers go through.
Yeah.
And especially the unpaid family caregivers.
That's right. That's right. And most of the time, majority of the time, the women and the females in the family are becoming the caregivers. And it takes a tremendous toll on a person who's not able to get that little bit of breathing room and separation and take care of themselves as well. They're taking care of an elderly parent on one end, a husband in the middle and young kids on the other end. That's a whole schedule of things that the person doesn't get a chance to breathe and to say, okay, I need some reflection time. I need some,
me time.
Me time, yes. Recharging time. I even just for a couple hours a day, but it's hard to do that when you're a caregiver. And, we're in that age group now where we've got tons of folks with elderly parents, and they dedicate so much of their time to taking care of elderly parents that they forget about taking care of themselves. And I often say, if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else. So
that's very true.
You have to take care of yourself. That's right.
I agree 100%. In it, done it.
Yes.
And I hope that if something happens to me, that I will have the support system that I have given to others.
That's right.
You never know. You just never know.
We don't. Fortunately, we're living in the age now where everybody's going to have Rosie the robot at their home, taking care of them. But that's not the same. It's just not the same.
Not even.
No. And so, we need to keep our friends close. We need to cherish them every day, take care of them, and hopefully in turn, they'll take care of us in our time of need. So
true. So true. If you're just tuning in, you're listening live to Seniors Matter with your host, Brenda Charles Edwards, on www.RainierAvenueRadio.world, your South Seattle's community radio station. Wonderful. We're here on Fridays at 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Do you know what's the best legacy we can give ourselves and our loved ones? Join me on Zoom for a group or individual session on legacy end-of-life planning. Now back to my guest, Mr. James Donaldson, the Executive Director of Your Gift of Life Foundation. So, James, let me continue with the daily message. The other one was the impact of losing a pet. And that is, I have seen some stories. There's this thing called Quora. And I don't know, are you familiar with it?
No, I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, people write into this person, and they usually talk about pets, but sometimes they talk about other things too. But I've seen a lot of pets. And one of the things, and I've seen pictures of pets that have lost their friend, their caregiver. And this one dog, after his owner, his human, as they say, died, he would come every day to his grave and lay on top of it. Or another one that I just saw was with the Pope. The Pope that just died, he had a dog that he picked up as a stray. And he said he looked into the dog's eyes and he could tell that it had been hurt.
Wow.
And so he convinced the dog to come with him. He went and he lived with the Pope for a number of years. And what was interesting is that just as he was dying, the dog wasn't in the room with him. He normally is. And he asked for the dog to be let in.
Wow.
The dog went over to him, put his head on the bed, and the Pope stroked him and said, "I love you." And then he died.
Oh, wow.
Story. And so two people were grieving. He was grieving because he knew he was going to lose his friend, the dog, and the dog is grieving.
Yes. Well, like I put in that little ebook I sent out with that, it's they become such a part of our family. And the same exact thing just happened to me a couple of days ago. I mean, I've got a dog and a cat, and they're best of friends. And my cat that I've had for 10 years wandered off into the darkness like he likes to do and just run around at night doing what cats do. And I got an email the next morning from 24-Hour Pet Watch. It's a microchip company that chips them and put a little So somebody found the cat the next morning and called the 24-Hour Pet Watch, and they called me and let me know somebody had my cat. Now, I thought I was just going to swing on by and pick it up. They didn't tell me the bad news that it had gotten hit by a car and killed just a block away, just a couple of houses from me. And it was devastating,
I'm sure.
So every moment of the day, I'm thinking about this cat, how he used to, saunter after me, how he used to sit on my lap, how he used to curl up with me.
He's a white cat, right?
No, black cat.
Black cat, and the dog is white.
But the dog is white, and how he used to scream at me with no end, for his food in the morning, food in the afternoon. He just scream at me. I'm like, hey. And
what were you feeding him?
Well, he loved to eat. He loved to eat.
Caviar.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is, when we lose a pet or a loved one, it's so sudden and so final.
Mm-hmm.
You keep wishing they're going to come walking around that corner. You keep wishing they come walking around the yard like they used to. And it just doesn't happen, no matter how badly you want it to happen. And so it's a huge void right now. But I'm relying on the information I share with all y'all about, what to do. Allow yourself to grieve. And everybody grieves in different ways.
Yes.
There's no right way, no wrong way. I'm not in a hurry to run out and get another replacement cat.
How's your dog doing with this?
The dog is, all of a sudden by itself and kind of looking around. I think the dog yesterday on our walk discovered where the cat was hit because she stopped and smelled the ground and just circled around, got a little excited.
Oh, wow.
It's just a couple of houses from me. And so, but the neighbor had to tell me that they, I can come by and get the cat if I want to, but they put it in a bag and they double bagged it. And I said, "You mean the cat's deceased?" And they say, yeah. They didn't tell you? I said, no, nobody told me.
They should have told you.
I know.
They really should have.
So I heard it from the neighbor, and but it's one of those things in life that, a lot of times is beyond our control, and we just have to be able to get through that. And luckily the dog is still here, and her and I have been, I talk tease all the time. I mean, that's the only thing that was left is the dog and a cat and a fork and a spoon. After the wife left and took the show. It's that old OJ song.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. What am I waiting for? She ain't coming back no more. But that's exactly right. That was all that was left was a dog and a cat and a fork and a spoon.
Wow.
So I'm rebuilding all of that back together again. But minus my poor little cat now. And,
yeah, I'm so sorry.
So just ask you all to pray for me, and we'll get through it.
Oh yeah, for sure. So now another one is countdown to mental wellness. Now this is a good one.
Yes. Well, yeah, and that's what that whole series of ebooks and information was throughout April. Was we were counting down to May being Mental Health Awareness Month. I wanted to just bring awareness to everybody. There's probably 1,000 people on that email list, and I was blasting things out every single day. Didn't miss a single day.
Right.
And I just wanted to keep on bringing awareness to the fact that, hey, May is a big, important month. And I want you all to have this little complimentary gift. I was shooting out a little ebook or something like that every day. And I'm so glad. I mean, I probably lost only 50 subscribers throughout the whole month of 1,000 folks. They bounce back several times. They get unsubscribed, whatever. But that's a pretty good rate, and showed me that
that's a real good rate.
Yeah, and showed me that the followers I do have are real appreciative of the information. And I heard back from so many people, whether it was about caregiving or losing your pet or what have you. So many people around the country got right back to me and said, wow, this is really touching me today.
So, James, I have one that's not in there.
Okay, well, I only had 30 days, so what do you got?
Is there a solution for keeping your sanity when you have to pack up and move?
Oh, wow, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
We moved out of our house about 3 years ago, packed everything up, went into storage because the realtor said it had to be clean, and you definitely didn't want any traces of us being there. But anyway, so then we rented a place, and it was very traumatic for me to have to pack up everything. I mean, everything. And I had some help, but the house didn't sell, and we were tired of paying rent and a mortgage. So we moved back in, took it off the market, moved back in.
Oh, no.
James, that was 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago. I'm still traumatized over it because I have not unpacked all those boxes.
I know.
And when I go to look for something and I can't find it, and I say to my husband, you know where such and such a thing is? He said, yes. I said, oh, where is it? He goes, in a box in the garage. I said,
I know the feeling. That's right. Well, I think the only saving grace out of that is you had time to plan for it.
Yes.
And maybe organizational skills come in where you can label things and make sure you know what's in those boxes. I'm through the same thing. I just relocated myself 2 or 3 months ago. Got a whole garage full of boxes out there. And some of those boxes I hadn't been through in 30 or 40 years.
Well, I get rid of those before I moved.
Yes.
But now these are different boxes, and I have labeled them, but it's still not the same.
Right, yeah.
Because in the back of my head, I think we're going to move again.
Yes, and me too. And so if it's inexpensive enough, then you figure, well, I'll just go buy another one. Now you got 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
So I know I try to grab a box out of the garage every day and go through it and see what's in there and throw out what I don't want, package away and label what I do want to keep. But I'm trying to scale down too. So that's an art in itself. But
True.
I think, we just tap into our organizational skills as best we can and really just and make it a goal to go through those things so you know what's in there and not have to keep on searching for everything. Yeah.
That's true. So how can someone get in touch with your foundation?
Well, my foundation, Your Gift of Life Foundation, it can be found with this website at yourgiftoflife.org. And my direct email, which is jamesd@yourgiftoflife.org. That email comes directly to me. Nobody intercepts it. Nobody plays around with it. I also have a phone number, I think, listed on my site somewhere, 206-487-3566, which I actually pick up. I just did a national radio interview last week with NBA Radio last week.
Oh, good.
And they have thousands and thousands of listeners all around the country. And I was speaking specifically to men, because I knew men was their big audience, but men also are are the ones who are very stubborn, very proud, very full of ego, very difficult to, oh yeah, you know.
Yes. Fortunately, my husband isn't quite that way, but I do have to sometimes kind of push him.
But you know what? These guys, they listen to me. They heard my story. I recounted my story. I told them how I worked my way through it. And I had half a dozen guys call me from all around the country on that same
wonderful.
And
wonderful.
Just thank me. A lot of them too proud to admit that they might be going through something, but that's okay.
Right.
They wanted to hear my voice. They wanted to thank me. They wanted to talk to me. And I said, hey, this is what I'm here for. This is what God allowed me to stay here for.
Yes, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Well, we have 1 minute left. And is there anything else you'd like to share? Because then I'm going to go into a commercial.
Well, I want to encourage people, no matter who you are, if you go through any kind of mental health crisis, reach out for help. 988 is our National Suicide Prevention Hotline number. And that number is going to be answered 24 hours a day, 7 days a week by a real live person, not by a bot, not by ChatGPT, a real live person at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. And I called them several times when I was going through what I was going through. And they will calm you down. They'll listen to your story. They'll get you information you need, help give you resources that you might need. And so that's my best encouragement for everybody, because you just don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. Your whole world can go upside down just like mine did.
Absolutely.
And what are you going to do?
Thank you, James.
That's right. That's right. And keep your friends close. You only need 2 or 3 tight, close friends. Keep them close and lean on them in those times of need.
For sure. Well, this is it for today, folks. Remember to put on your calendars Saturday, May 17th, Sawabona Festival at Bellevue College from 12 to 4. Come early, stay late. And I got a teaser. Miss Josie Howe will open the festival, so you want to be there.
Oh, good.
Thank you to my listening, viewing audience, my friend, James Donaldson, Executive Director of Your Gift of Life Foundation, and a special thank you to MC Class, A.K. Robert D. Bassett Jr. with Delano C. Bay Chester, LLC, for the use of his music, Ragtime. All right, you guys, have a great weekend. Be safe and live your life like it's golden. Hi, James.